If you watched our videos, you know that we already tackled the absolute worst challenges in Spyro 2. If you missed that video, go check it out and maybe even drop us a like. But now it's time to move on to the final game in the Reignited Trilogy. So get ready, because we're diving into the 5 worst egg challenges in the Reignited Trilogy. Some of these are frustrating, some are just plain boring, and others are so obnoxious you'll even wonder why they exist in the first place. But they all share one unfortunate truth: these challenges actively make the game less fun to play. In fact, collecting some of these eggs are about as exciting as watching paint dry. Except that the paint is also actively trying to make you angry. Before we jump in, a quick note. You notice that 2 of the entries on this list are actually for 2 eggs. However, since the second egg is just a continuation of the first egg, we're going to treat them as one unified headache. Now since that's cleared up, let's get into number 5. Number 5. We have Shoot from the Boat in Bamboo Terrace. Honestly, there's just nothing really enjoyable about this one. It's long, you're stuck in place, it's incredibly boring, and to top it all off, you can even hit your own pandas with a fireball. Doing so knocks them off their ladder, forcing you to start all the way from the beginning. This challenge absolutely sucks. Honestly, it feels less like a minigame and more like a pop-up ad you can't close, forcing you to endure it before you can get back to what you actually want to do. Taking our number 4 spot are the infamous Agent 9 challenges in Fireworks Factory. Yes, there are technically 2 eggs here, but they're so similar in their soul-crushing frustration that we're lumping them together. The core problem? These missions throw Agent 9 into a first-person shooter mode, and his controls are just rough. Trying to aim precisely while navigating clunky movement feels like you're trying to drive a tank with a sticky joystick. Then the game relentlessly barrages you with enemies, often spawning right on top of you or hitting you from off-screen. And to add insult to injury, the second egg makes you do the same exact challenge again, just with even more enemies. It's less of a fun challenge and more of a test of how much unfairness you can endure before you scream. Coming at number 3, we have Save the Wolf from Enchanted Towers. On its own, this challenge isn't a nightmare. It's a simple escort mission. Guide the wolf and defeat some bad guys. But here's where it consistently falls apart and becomes utterly rage-inducing. The dog gets glitched. You'll be flying around feeling like a true hero, and then suddenly your little furry companion just stops and gets stuck in this spot. Once this happens, now you're completely stuck, and since the wolf won't move, your only option is to leave the entire arena and come back, which means starting the whole challenge over from the very beginning. Sliding into our number 2 spot is the notorious Whack-A-Mole challenge in Crystal Islands. This one is just an exercise in pure frustration, and the main culprit? Those pesky wizards. You'll be in the middle of a perfect swing, totally focused, when suddenly a wizard pops up out of nowhere. If you hit them, which, let's be real, you often can't help but do at that point, you're instantly reset back to the beginning. It's like the game is actively punishing you for playing it. But here's where the second layer of agony lies. Sometimes, for the entire minute of the challenge, you might only see 1 or 2 moles. That's a bit of a problem when you need to hit 20 moles to win. It's less whack-a-mole and more patiently wait for nothing to happen, and then get yelled at for hitting the wrong thing. And coming in at the absolute top spot, we have the skateboard racing challenges. Again, these technically count as 2 separate eggs, but honestly they're so consistently terrible that I'm grouping them together. What's positive about this section? They have ramps. Maybe the music is a little catchy if you're into that kind of repetitive earworm. But beyond these minor points, almost nothing about this challenge is fun, and it's especially egregious in the Reignited Trilogy. The glitches are rampant, sometimes spawning 5 racers instead of 6, Spyro getting inexplicably stuck on nothing, or the game just deciding to face you a completely different direction for no reason. These are, by a long shot, the absolute worst egg challenges to tackle. And to pour salt in the wound, you essentially have to endure this experience not once, but twice, just for the privilege of getting both of these awful eggs. And that is the end of our list. Did we get it right? Be sure to let us know down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.